We do have reaction coming out of the courthouse now in Muskegon. We're listening to what a juror thought about this case. Let's listen in.
How much did you keep the family of Rebecca Bletch in mind when you were deliberating in there?
Well, the families are always in our mind, but, you know, it's like we have to we can't go on our feelings or what we're worried about the family or what's going to happen. You know, we have to pay attention to what the evidence is and base our decision on that. But, of course, the families are always, you know, in our thoughts.
What was the most damning evidence?
Yeah, was it DNA? Was it ballistics?
It was basically all of it.
A combination of things.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Was it a unanimous decision? Were there any sticking points during deliberation where anybody was dissenting in the decision making?
It was pretty unanimous, but we really discussed out every single possibility and
all the evidence, everything that if anybody had a question or if there was something that we weren't 100% sure on, you know, there was some talk about the different things, you know, the weapons and but basically everything was,
Was there much discussion between first degree and second degree?
Not really, no.
When you decided he was guilty, you all agreed, and it was premeditated. It wasn't the felony murder.
It was both.
Yes.
It was both. You
Correct.
decided it was both.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And what do you want to say to Rebecca Bletch's family at this point?
Well, I just hope they can have closure now. You know, it's like it's never going to be easy. I mean, they lost a daughter, a mother, you know, sister. So it's like she's never going to come back. I just hope that now that this part of it's over, you know, that they can find some closure and move on with their lives.
What's the feeling now? I mean, you guys were the jury. You made the decision in this case. What's the feeling?
Well, I'm glad it's over. I mean, it was a lot of days. It's a relief.
It was stressful. It was a lot on our shoulders.
It's a hard decision.
It was a hard decision, a very hard decision, but we all feel that we made the right decision today. So,
correct.
And we hope, like she said, that Rebecca's family gets closure now.
Anything you want to say about your fellow jurors? I mean, were they all equally attentive? And
yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I think everybody.
It was quite a mixture.
Yes,
everybody input everybody had kind of their own opinion, but it was all basically the same opinion at the end. So everybody, it was pretty much. Yeah, there was quite a mixture of us from.
Yeah.
So,
That's kind of neat to see.
This case has been such a big part of Muskegon County for 3 years now, and just to be on that jury, making that decision, hearing that evidence, again, just take us through that.
Well, yeah, it was. There was a lot of evidence presented to us. I mean, right from the very beginning, you know. So there was some stuff that didn't necessarily pertain to this case that we also heard. So, I mean, yeah, there was a lot of stuff.
A lot to process. A lot of things like we learned that we
didn't know about or
in everyday life. So it was a lot of new things that it was a lot on your mind and a lot of heavy pressure, emotions, thoughts, all of it.
And do you think your decision is taking a dangerous man off the streets here in Muskegon County?
Yes, I do.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, can you elaborate?
Well, I mean, just from the evidence, I mean, you guys have been here since the trial started, too. I mean, you've heard the evidence, you heard the things that were said, the allegations, the evidence, and everything else. I totally believe that, yes, that we've stopped somebody from doing something or continuing to do something that's dangerous for our society.
And at this point, I mean, what do you want to say to the defendant? What do you want to say to Jeffrey Willis?
I hope he gets help.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I hope that whatever it is that drove him to be the way that he is or whatever made him do this in his mind, that somebody helps him or at least, you know, figure out what is going on so that he doesn't have to deal with whatever demons it is that he's dealing with.
Yep, I agree.
Anything else you want to say?
I don't think so. I think we're ready to just head out of here.
Are you willing to share your names, please?
Rita.
Okay, how do you spell that?
R-I-T-A.
And your last name?
Okay, so those were two of the jurors that we just heard from, and they're saying that they feel they made the right decision, that it was pretty much unanimous. They did have some questions that they went over, but they came to this verdict fairly quickly, and they say that they do feel like they've got a dangerous man off the street. Brian Sue.
All right. Heather Walker talking to a couple of the jurors there, not taking a lot of time to deliberate on that case, and they said in that interview they weren't really conflicted over a lot of this stuff, weren't swayed by his testimony yesterday, weren't considering anything like second-degree murder.
Right.
They just went and took the evidence as it was presented and came to that verdict.
Those jurors saying they all had different perspectives, but they all came to the same conclusion.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, we'll continue to follow what's happening out of the Muskegon County Courthouse. A guilty verdict in the Jeffrey Willis trial, the murder of Rebecca Bletch.